You know that feeling, right? Stress, that knot in your stomach, that racing heart. We all know it. But what happens when that feeling just sticks around? When that internal alarm bell that's supposed to warn you of danger just never ever shuts off? Well, today we're going to dive into what's really going on inside our bodies when that alarm gets stuck in the on position.
I want you to think about it like a car alarm. You know, the one that goes off in the middle of the night. For a second, it's useful. It tells you something might be wrong. But if that thing just keeps blaring for hours on end, it stops being helpful and becomes a source of pure frustration. It's just damage. So what happens when our body's own alarm system does the exact same thing?
So first off, let's get one thing straight. Stress itself isn't the villain here. That whole fight or flight response, it's actually a brilliant piece of our survival kit. It's what would have saved our ancestors from a tiger in the grass. It floods your body with energy, sharpens your focus. It's designed to save your life. The problem isn't the alarm going off. The problem is when it never, ever stops.
And that really brings us to the huge difference between two kinds of stress. On one hand, you've got acute stress. That's the short, sharp burst, like when you have to slam on the brakes in your car. It's over quickly, and it can actually be good for you. It helps you perform under pressure. But then there's the other kind, chronic stress. And that's the one we're worried about. This is that low-grade, constant pressure that just grinds you down day after day. And that is where the trouble starts.
All right, so let's pop the hood, shall we? What is actually going on in there when that alarm just refuses to be silenced? Let's take a look at the engine that drives our stress response.
So at its very core, chronic stress is just this state of relentless activation. The system that was built for a 5-minute emergency is left running 24/7. And when that happens, it starts to wear down the very functions it was originally designed to protect. It's a complete system overload, and it has some pretty serious consequences. This whole overload happens through something called the HPA axis. Now that sounds complicated, but just think of it as your body's emergency broadcast system. It all starts when your brain senses a threat that just won't go away, like a deadline or a tough relationship. This kicks the HPA axis into gear, which then basically sounds the alarm for a flood of stress hormones, especially cortisol. In a normal situation, the system turns off, but with chronic stress, the broadcast just keeps playing, leaving your body stuck on high alert. And a body that's permanently on high alert? Well, it eventually starts to break down. And we're not just talking about a vague feeling of being stressed out. No, this has real, physical, and honestly pretty scary consequences for your health. And just how real are we talking? Well, research shows that stress is responsible for about 30% of the risk for a heart attack. Let that sink in. 30%. That puts stress right up there with the big ones, like smoking or having high cholesterol. This isn't some minor inconvenience, it's a major threat to our health.
And your heart is just the beginning. Your whole body is basically under siege. To deal with a constant threat, your body starts making some tough calls. It diverts energy away from things it considers non-essential for immediate survival, like your immune system. That's why you get sick more often when you're stressed. It also messes with your digestion, leading to things like IBS. And it keeps your muscles clenched tight, causing those relentless tension headaches. It's a full-body assault.
Of course, the siege doesn't stop at the neck. Mentally, the toll is huge. Chronic stress is a massive trigger for anxiety and depression. All that cortisol floating around can actually damage the part of your brain that handles memory and learning, the hippocampus. It ruins your sleep, and it can push us into some really unhealthy coping habits, which just creates this vicious cycle that feels impossible to break.
But to really get why this is so damaging long-term, we have to look at something even more profound. We have to look at how chronic stress literally rewires your brain. I want you to imagine your brain has a brake pedal. It's designed to help you calm down and filter out all the unimportant noise. Well, chronic stress breaks that brake pedal. Now that brake pedal has a scientific name. It's called habituation. It's this amazing, natural ability your brain has to just learn to ignore things. It's the reason you can tune out the hum of your computer or the traffic outside. Your brain learns that these things aren't threats and hits the brakes, saving your energy for what actually matters. It's your brain's off switch. So this is what that process looks like in a healthy brain. A neuron gets the same signal over and over, and you can see its response, how much it's firing, just smoothly decreases over time. See that nice, clean downward curve? That is your brain's brake pedal working perfectly. It's learning, adapting, and calming down. But now, look what happens under chronic stress. The brake pedal is completely busted. Instead of that smooth, calm decline, the neuron just fails to adapt. It keeps firing like crazy, as if every little thing is a brand new, terrifying emergency. There's no learning, no calming down. It's just chaos.
So what's the bottom line here? Your brain physically loses its ability to ignore the noise. Everything feels like a threat. Everything is amplified. That feeling of being constantly on edge, of being hypersensitive to everything, this is why. Your brain's alarm system literally can't tell the difference between a real danger and just, background noise anymore.
Okay, I know that all sounds pretty intense, but here is the most important part of this whole conversation. You are not powerless. This is not a life sentence. Just like stress can rewire your brain for high alert, we can actively take steps to rewire it for calm. We can learn how to find and, repair that off switch.
And the research is so clear on this. Having good, effective ways to manage stress isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential to push back against these effects and protect our health. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. The real question is, what does that actually look like?
So how do we fix the brakes? Well, thankfully there are some really powerful tools. Things like regular exercise can literally help your body process those excess stress hormones. Therapy, like CBT, can help you change the thought patterns that trigger the stress in the first place. But I really want to zoom in on mindfulness, because this isn't just about relaxing, it's about training your brain to regain control. It's about learning to notice the noise without having that automatic chaotic reaction. You are, in a very real sense, manually re-engaging that broken brake pedal and teaching your nervous system, one breath at a time, how to find its way back to calm.
Look, the journey back from a state of chronic stress doesn't happen in a day. It's not about making some huge, dramatic change. It starts with small, simple, deliberate actions. So the question I want to leave you with is a gentle one. What is one small thing, just one tiny step that you can do today to start reclaiming your calm? Maybe it's just stepping outside for 5 minutes. Maybe it's taking 3 slow, deep breaths. Whatever it is, that first step is yours to choose.